Do good work is not a label, but a way of living. It is the constant and diligent effort to achieve a new level of excellence in one's own life. It is the hidden inner beauty behind the struggle to achieve excellence. It's not perfect, but imperfect. It is the effort, discipline, and focus that often goes unnoticed. The goal of Do Good Work is to highlight that drive. The guests I have on this show emulate this drive in their own special way. You'll be able to apply new ideas into your own life by learning from them. We will also have one-on-one episodes with me where we'll dive into my own experience with entrepreneurship and leadership. Every episode is designed to provide you with ideas that you can apply and grow in excellence in all areas of your life, business, and career.
Today on the show, we have Philippe Soares. Philippe is an entrepreneur and artist at Aprendi. He graduated from information systems in the University of São Paulo, but 7 years ago, he decided to change his life and his whole career and do something, as he says, good in his life. And he focused on starting an educational startup focused on learning rather than studying. Fast forward today, there are 2,600 members active, and he's actively part of the community in Sao Paulo for startups, including Zero Once startups. And right now, he's on the mission to create a strong community where studying, passion, and self-awareness are the keys to changing the world. Philippe, thank you so much for being on, man.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
So, Philippe, I do want to go a little bit into your background. I know you studied information systems, and now you're in the educational startup space. Can you kind of bridge the gap? How you went from pretty much how are you in the space right now, and what are the exciting things that you're doing?
Well, it's I could spend the whole day talking about this because this is the kind of question everybody does. How I went from assistant analyst guy, from IT person to entrepreneur to work with education or even an English teacher. And every time I answer this question, it's I get a new highlight or some insights from this. So I'm still digging in. But to make it short, I was working with something that I wasn't feeling so passionate about, and I couldn't see the result in the front end, Oh, okay. So I couldn't see people basically getting the results from my job. So the frontline people, the people who were going to use the system I developed, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see the feedbacks. I couldn't listen to people. I didn't see the solving their problems. So I decided to make a change, and then I dove deep into self-awareness and trying to study myself. And I looked backwards, and it was awesome that I figured out that I didn't want to talk to computers, but instead to humans. So it was easy to say that I started teaching because teaching is what you do with people,
Yep.
So I started basically do it like this. I started to test new ways. So English, it was the first thing people asked me to do.
So then how did you find the issues, the problems? Because any good startup or any company solves a unique problem in the marketplace. So how did you come across the issue in education, especially in online education, with your background and the problems that you're solving?
Oh, it was my problem firsthand. So especially English, it took me almost 15 years to really get confident to answer this question. Do you speak English? It's just a yes or no question. And then I always had, and I think a lot of Brazilians, they have this. They always excuse themselves. Oh, I don't speak English. My English is really bad. I'm sorry, I'm studying. So for example, after a decade, you don't just to excuse yourself that, oh, my English is bad. You have plenty of time to study, to test, but you don't feel comfortable or confident. So I started this way, telling people, hey, I'm going to help you to kind of unlock the way you speak in English.
Huh.
And then English, it was, I don't know how about you guys in US, how do you feel about learning another language? But here in Brazil, a lot of people, they study in like regular schools and with online courses everywhere, but they don't feel confidence. They don't feel they are able to speak in another language. And so I thought, okay, this is a problem we face.
You've identified the problem.
Yeah. So then I started to give private classes. And then when I did that, I had the chance to really go into the market and talk to people. Selling, I had to learn how to sell because I didn't know how to sell in the first hand. It was really difficult. Then I had to set up my workplace environment. So am I going to do like face-to-face classes? Are going to be online classes? Are going to be B2B, B2C, B2B, B2C? What's going to be? So a lot of things. And it started as a private English teacher to become a business when I started to have more and more students. And then I got the chance to realize, okay, I'm solving a problem, or at least people are liking it somehow. So what is that exactly? So it was, and then I realized it was more than just English learning, you know.
What was it more?
It took me, I think it took me 2 years almost to realize that my business wasn't just English, you know.
Interesting. So then you identify the problem, you went out there and talked to the marketplace by actually solving the problem in a unique way. Then you had the unique perspective to say, what's my choice? Do I want to do this in one-to-one, B2C, or should I go B2B, or should this be online? So how did you make that transition to going into the online space? Because now I know that you've shifted into online particularly, and that your business model is now bigger than just teaching people how to learn English. So how did you transition to that, and where are you going next?
I think the first thing is asking people it's more important than anything. So instead of like doing research and planning and asking and doing surveys and etc., I started to sell for real. I started to get people's money in a legal way, of course, like selling and delivering them and solving some issues, some problems they had. So that was the best thing I did. As soon as I started this, I did a lot of mistakes, of course, in the middle of the process, but I had the chance to, do both online and offline. And then I could taste how it's to play in both scenarios. So online, it's totally different than offline. What's the experience people want? People, they have some walls in front of them because of online. Sometimes they don't, online learning doesn't work for me. So I want you to be in my company. I want you to be here. So it was more like this. And for me, I had to understand what was really what I wanted to do for my life. So being a kind of digital nomad, to work from anywhere, it was something interesting for me years ago. So that was the reason that I decided to focus online and my business just to be online. Though I had some students and some workshops, some events offline, on site, doing online, it was an experience that I enjoyed because I could work from anywhere. And I had I went to Hawaii in US in 2006 for almost a month. And I was starting out my English classes as a teacher. And I like it so much to be like in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and still working, So it was like turning point to the things I wanted to do in the long run.
So then how has that transition now? Because I know like right now, Aprendi is teaching more than just English. How did you go from just solving that basic need and looking at what other needs your audience and your community needed?
That's another good question. I don't have a specific moment for that, but what I see is I could understand from myself that like tech, for example, programming, management, leadership, communication, gardening, that it was something I was involved in. I was into gardening in a few years ago. And then I started to enjoy the process of learning new things for myself. And then I started to think, okay, maybe there's something just more than English, because English is just a tool. And like I have a phone that I use, but I can use like a knife, I can use a bicycle. They are all tools. So what are you doing with those tools? What's the reason for you to learn English or for you to start a business?
The reason behind the reason. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So why are you cooking this? Or why are you preparing this, I don't know, this land for like to build a house? Are you going to live in it? Or are you just going to sell? So there is a sense of purpose before you start learning something. And then I started to do a work with a friend of mine about branding, and we had long discussions on it. And then Aprendi, it's like a Portuguese name, but in English you could say, "Oh, I've learned it," or "I got it." It's this meaning. So for us in Portuguese, it's pretty clear. Oh, it was so easy, or I didn't realize. Oh, I didn't notice that I have just learned this. And there was a situation in San Francisco, California, when I went to a trip. Before everything started, I was working as an IT person. And there I went to, this is a funny story. I spent a month in California, like it's a classic journey, it's a classic trip. People go to the West Coast, and I went to a lot of places. And every time I went to a store, some people just tried to help me. So, oh, hey, do you need any help? Are you looking for something? And then I just replied back, no, I'm just looking. Thank you. But then by the end of the trip, in San Francisco specifically, there was a guy, he asked me, hey, you're browsing, right? And I like, for native speaker, it's pretty obvious, but for us who are non-native, when you listen, when you hear someone saying something different, it's like a highlight to you. So I got that, and I remember exactly how I felt in this situation and everything. I can draw for you. Like I'm not a drawer, but I could draw the situation for you. So I really learned a new way of asking the same thing using the word browse. It's pretty obvious. We have like Firefox, Chrome, and they are all browsers. But for me, it wasn't that obvious. So I learned so quick a new vocabulary, new expression, that I thought, how can I do that with people and with other things? So it's basically like that the Aprendi idea, or the name, the brand, comes out back there.
How can you have them click in other ways of learning, or other modalities, or other, add-on thought patterns? Or
it's like, it doesn't matter the thing you want to learn. It's you just need to really experience the situation, you need to live. So there is an emotional thing involved throughout learning, you know?
That is true. So then how did you do that in an online community? Because you started this from scratch and then now you have multiple programs. I see a nice full list of students. So how did you start this online community from scratch and being able to foster that and help them grow?
Patient. Patient. Yeah. But I started this in 2016, in October 2016. And I didn't imagine how would it be in the future. It was just like, oh, I need to sell my classes. I need people to understand what I'm doing, to really know that I'm teaching English. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was like, it was kind of joke, not a joke, but something fun. Just, okay, let's have a conversation in English. Pretty obvious. Like people have been doing this on site, like face to face, in a lot of places, like for Airbnb and Couchsurfing, meetups, a lot of them they have everywhere. But online, I couldn't find any of them. And then I start, okay, let's try this on Tuesday, because I had a Tuesday night off. I didn't have any students on Tuesday nights. And then I started like once a week, 1 hour, trying to bring people for free to speak in English with me. And it's not that easy as it seems. Like to every time you offer something for free, people want that. Yeah. But after, but they get that excitement, but they don't go, they don't attend, they don't join. So it took me a while. It took me 3 years really to understand how to work the community online from scratch. And once I understood how to work properly, I could grow the community from just English to start giving away Spanish, Italian, French conversations for free, and marketing now, programming, meditation, yoga, and we are bringing other stuff. But it was just like people want to be together to speak English. They want to learn together. They don't like to be alone. Sometimes they think it's better to have private teachers, but they want to belong to a community, to belong to a group. So it's not easy to start a community. I have seen many of them, and when you see from another point of view, like not from the inside out, you think it's easy. Oh, it's just like get people to speak English, that or to learn something. But when you really need to start that, you realize how hard it is, and then it's not English anymore. The community, it's not about English, or it's not about learning. It's about purpose, and it's about friendship, and it's about doing something good to each other, to help each other.
It's really powerful. That's really powerful. That's more about belonging than it is in the actual, service or the actual education. What were some of the things that you mentioned that once I learned how to work the community, I could grow it to these other programs, different languages, marketing programs, like for IT. What were some of those key learning points that you had to go through in order to be able to do that?
Yeah, there was something that I didn't do in the beginning that it's really important, is to measure every step I take. So how many people are joining, how many people are really leaving, or how many hours of learning we are delivering. So some numbers that as a community, you don't think that much. For example, you are part of a community. You have your family, you have your friends. Yes. But you don't measure. You don't have numbers from how many friends you have, how many close friends you have, and the interests that you have in common, or what are the gaps, or I don't know, like how many times a week they come to talk to you, or they call you. like you don't have that when you have like friends.
Yeah, in real life, yeah.
You know, in real life, you don't have like, and you could have that. You've got your phone, you could have a list of, it's kind of creepy, but you could have that.
Like a spreadsheet, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And everything starts with a spreadsheet. So I started with a spreadsheet with like number of subjects, talks that we are having. So nowadays we have already more than 700 meetings online, and
Wow.
we are having like around 120 per month, and we have 2,000 people per month joining in
Wow.
and participating, attending the meetings. So you need those numbers to see if you're doing good or not. So if you're growing or not. So I think this is the key for you to start a community from scratch, no matter the community you have.
Measuring the number of new members, measuring the number of meetings that they're attending, their engagements, and who leaves, so that you're able to see growth.
Exactly.
And I like that. And in tying it back again, they're joining for purpose, they're joining for friendship, and they're joining for belonging, not just the topic or education that you're giving them.
Yeah, if they come just because of English, they just go away like in 1-2 weeks. I don't have this number, by the way, like if how long people stay and if they are keeping coming. This is a good number as well, like how long
They'll maintain. Yeah,
they are keep involved with the community. So nowadays we have almost 50 people helping, like as ambassadors, like volunteers that they handle English meetings, French meetings. We are starting next Saturday a German meeting. There's a girl, she's gonna handle some, and it's going to be more classes for beginners, but there's how we start as well. So we have some classes because it's people are demanding or they are asking for things. So you need to listen to your community, what they need or what they want, and you see if it fits for the moment or not. So it's always also something really good to cover.
It's a bit, yeah, making sure that you get the feedback loops from the community and balancing out between what you can do now and what you should do later, and not always now at the same, like dumping everything in one moment. Now, that's really interesting. How large is the community right now?
Oh, we have about 2,600 people now.
Wow.
In active people, we have an average of 400 per week.
Nice.
We are making some changes on the website and the way people join the community. We started in many ways. Basically, it was just a link on, so it was a website on Appear In when they had this name. They are website now, but they used to be like Appear In. But right now we have a Telegram channel, and we are moving from this Telegram to the own website, Aprendi.com. So people are registering there, and we are having like a forum, like a place where people can ask questions or ask for help or place material or stuff they want based on interests. So it's becoming more like in-house community, you know. So
natural transitions. No, I love it.
Yeah.
Very powerful, Philippe. All from you working in an IT job and saying there's something more that I can give. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
That's wonderful. So for our listeners out there today, Philippe, where's the best place for them to go to reach out to you and learn a little bit more about Aprendi?
They can go, the best way it's really to attend one of the meetings. So just joining Aprendi, IHAPRENDI.com, and they are going to have the whole access. We have a lot of things for free. We have like almost 150 hours for free per month.
Wow.
So if they want to practice their English, I don't know if they are interested, but it's a way to meet new people, to, you know, start relationships with other people. Spanish, French, Italian. We are starting out Portuguese in December, so I'm going to handle some Portuguese conversational meetings.
Nice.
And yeah, we are starting next year to 2021. We're going to start trying to find people from other places, other countries. We're still like, most of people, like 95% of people are Brazilians, but we have some people from Africa joining in, people from Central America as well. So I think those places, they are good to start with, to bring other people. But we had people from Asia, from Middle East. I don't think we had. Yeah, we can. The idea is really to rule the world, to be everywhere.
Yeah, in a positive way, and of course, to be a support. And I'll put the links there as well for people to reach out to you over on LinkedIn and Instagram, as well as your website. But Philippe, thank you so much for being on, man. Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for reaching out, and I hope to see one of all of you. Maybe you, you're more than welcome to join in and to see how it works. And I'll be glad to have people there to chat. I appreciate you, Philippe. Thank you. Thank you so much.